Disney is the topic of the day. Cheers to you, cheers to my Christmas tree. I asked on Instagram if anyone had any topics they would love for us to chat about in our MON-days community, and someone wanted me to share about my audition process for Disney. As most of you know, I am currently in Hong Kong Disneyland, living out my dreams. I am a lead vocalist and best friends with Merida as well as Ariel. Woot woot. My audition process for Disney has been long and lengthy. The first time that I ever auditioned for Disney, I was 15 and I auditioned for a little show called Wizards of Waverly Place. If you've ever heard of it, maybe you would recognize a centaur. I was Justin's prom date on the episode Beware Wolf, which you could find on YouTube if you so please to see a 15-year-old blonde Renna as half a horse. That was such a dream come true, and I'm in just a teaser at the very end, but it was still very, very exciting for me. A couple years later was the first time I auditioned for the parks, the Disneyland parks all over the world. I auditioned for Hong Kong Disneyland, hilariously enough. I was called back for Belle. I made it to the end, and then when they asked if I had conflicts, I said, actually, yes, I'm gonna be studying abroad in South Africa because I was going away to college, and who knows if it would have worked out, but I ended up saying, hey, actually, I'm not available at this time. So that is where my journey paused for a moment when I was 17. When I got back from South Africa, I went to every Disney audition that there possibly was, and it got to the point, you guys, where I felt like I was so sick of going to Disney auditions because I would always make it to the end. I would sing all the callback material. I would be kept, and there's this paperwork that's like your last step before they decide if they're gonna hire you, and I would make it there forever, you guys. And it was kind of frustrating, and I just figured, you know what, I guess my Disney dreams will die on Wizards of Waverly Place, and I'm okay with that. That's not a bad way to go. So I actually stopped going to the in-person Disney auditions unless I had an agent appointment, which I did this past November in 2019, and I was called in. Ooh, actually I want to tell you the story because I think it's really cool when I'm terrified, but I want to go there with you. So last year, like 2 years ago, I had an agent appointment for Hong Kong Disneyland for Ariel. Ariel is a soprano in the land of Hong Kong, and there's this really high mixed note that's actually higher than what Ariel does in the show, and I had a really early agent appointment, and it's part of your world, but like up, all the way up in the stratosphere, and I did it great in the car, and I showed up in the room, and it wasn't great, you guys. Like, I felt like I was into it, and then I did not crush it, and our casting director said, okay, I mean, I'll tape it, but could you try to get that last note? Oh, and that was just not what you want to hear. And so, of course, with that voice in my head, I did not crush it again when she taped it for going on the record, but she still like took me through all the rounds and everything. But I had her voice in my head for like a year, you guys. So then when the next audition period came around, I had another agent appointment, and I was like, no, why do I have to go do this again? So I went in and I auditioned, and again, like, it wasn't great, and I was so frustrated because this time I had so much more confidence. I had a laissez-faire attitude, if you will. I was like, you know what, I've never been hired for the theme parks, whatever, I'll just go have a good time. And this was the time the cast director heard me and was like, you know what, could you sing Touch the Sky, which is the Merida song? I'd seen Brave once, and I really only knew Touch the Sky. That was like literally all that I knew, so I learned it on the spot. And she recorded me doing it, and I thought, you know what, I really like this song on my voice. It fits nicely, and I liked that Merida was not as princessy. I've always considered myself to be a quirky lass. I live in the land of quirks, and that's how I set myself apart when I go to auditions. It's just by being kind of my weird self. I like to be the funny sidekick, the funny best friend. Being an ingenue, it hasn't been my strong suit or my cup of tea, if you will. I like to be a little bit sassier. I'd love to be funnier, a little more depth, which, you know, that's an argument for another day. But I loved it. I was like, this is a good time. And then I learned a dance combination. I think it was just very princessy, you know, something you would imagine seeing a princess do on a float. And then I quite literally forgot that I auditioned for it because I was just so used to not hearing back from Hong Kong Disneyland. That was in November. lo and behold, February rolls around. I'm checking my phone because I'm waiting to hear back on another callback that I would have to rearrange my work schedule for the next day. I was in the Target parking lot, which, I mean, come on, everything good happens in Target, am I right? And boom, there it is, an offer for Hong Kong Disneyland as to be friends with Merida as a lead vocalist. And I was so shocked, you guys, because it was one of those, when did I did audition for that. Oh my gosh, and it's like, it starts here, like, oh, what? And then it goes here. Am I gonna uproot my life? Am I actually gonna go? And here's something that I thought is so cool and so special. Two things. One, timing. I wanted to work for Disney my entire life. I wanted to be a Disney princess. I thought I have the wrong face shape. I thought, for whatever reason, it literally never worked out for me. 10 years, you guys, 10 years. I turned 27 on the 10-year anniversary of me auditioning for Hong Kong Disneyland the first time. Remember, I was 17 when I got called back for Belle and then went to Africa instead. So it's really special for me that for 10 years of kind of thinking, oh, that dream has moved on. Well, surprise to me, because here I stinking am, which is really cool. And then the other cool thing that is awesome is not only obviously do I get to be friends with Merida, but I get to be friends with Ariel. And it's so cool because I totally bombed that Ariel song twice. And so it's really, really cool to be able to get up on stage and be like, and now we're here, you know? Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Idina Menzel cracked like crazy in her callback for Elphaba. And she still got it. And so it's just a beautiful lesson to see that the things that are yours, there's no way you can mess it up as long as you show up. And I really love thinking about that, you know, as I hang out with Ariel and she flips her fan. I'm like, wow, I totally failed. Like, I messed up big time, and yet, like, I'm still here. So I think that's just something that I'll always take with me. And then the last thing that I think is so special about the timing of this is that I have met some of the best friends of my entire life, and I've always dreamed of having a friend group. I've had beautiful, beautiful friends, you guys, that I consider like my constellations, but they're more one-on-one friendships, or you bond really well with the cast, but then you kind of hang on to maybe one person that you'll still, you know, water that friendship over time. But I have a beautiful group of friends, and I am so thankful. And I know, looking back, that if I had come here when I was 17, I wouldn't have met these girls, and they're from all over the world, which is just astounding to me, that there would be an opportunity for me to get to know people from so far away, and that we would get to be here, and it honestly blows my mind, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for that. I'm thankful to Disney. This is one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. And the cool thing is, I mean, we've all had jobs that we maybe don't love. I've been very lucky. I've had great jobs. I've had great bosses, but you know, we all have the job that maybe we're doing because it helps us do other things. And this is not that. I love this job so much. I'm really grateful, and I try to keep that attitude of gratitude every day. Oh gosh, the last thing. I always wanted to travel and leave the country, but I was nervous to do so because I thought it might take me out of the running. It would take me out of the running for things in LA, and I love TV film. I have a dream to be on Broadway, and to be literally out of the country was always scary. And I can't tell you just the blessing, God's timing. I'm not missing anything because it's a pandemic. So not only do you guys, I'm so grateful, and I don't mean for this to be rubbed in your face at all, but like, I'm escaping the pandemic because it is safe as heck here. It is so safe, and I am beyond ridiculously, insanely blessed to be a performing actor right now, which is, oh, my heart goes out to all my beautiful friends who are currently not employed. So I can't tell you how grateful I am to Disney, to timing, Lord for putting me here. I'm just grateful. So that was my Disney audition process. I'm so grateful. If you have any ideas for our MON-day community, so either problems or exciting mind shifts or questions, leave them below. This is our story. This is your story. Thank you for joining me. Wow, this was a long one, but it was a tale that's not as old as time. Anyway, happy MON-day. I hope that you seize your opportunities, and remember, just like my failure, that was not really a failure because it happened and it's fine. when you show up and you fail, nothing can keep you from what is meant to be yours. So that's the Monday thought I would like to leave you with, is when's the time you showed up anyway, and maybe you didn't do your best, but it still worked out because you showed up. That's your tidbit for today. Sending you love wherever you are in the world. Happy Monday.